Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be all about Wet n Wild Beauty. I'm going to be doing a full face of Wet n Wild, but also giving you guys the best products from the line and also the products that aren't as great, my recommendations and everything like that. So if you guys want to see a full face of Wet n Wild and also my opinions on the products, what is good and what's not, then just go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so I don't have a moisturizer from the line, so I have already done that off of camera, but I am going to go in with my primer next, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Primer Stick. I have used this before, as you may have seen in one of my previous videos. I think I wore this when I was trying out the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation in that review, just to see if it did anything to my makeup. I'm not sure. I've been testing it out since to see if I am noticing any differences, and I'm still testing it out to see what I think. So we are going to be using this in today's video. So I'm going to just go ahead and apply this to my T-zone area because this is where I need the help in the matte department because I am very oily, as most of you may know. So I'm just going to be rubbing this. This does feel like super weird when I apply it. So it also doesn't smell that great, but I don't know if face products are supposed to smell great. Like, I almost would rather have no scent in my products than having some heavy fragrance. So we're just going to be putting this on today. I am going to be doing the eyes first, but I just wanted to go ahead and apply this just so we can let that sink in a little bit. Okay, so before we move on to eyes, I'm going to show you what I have for the eyes. Guys, I have so many products for the eyes. I had a lot of this makeup already, but I bought a few extra things that I've always wanted to try. I've heard great things about, and so I have a lot of new eye things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I had before I planned on filming this video and what is new for the eyes. So the only things I had for the eyes from Wet n Wild is these two trio palettes, which are so old. I honestly don't even know if they sell these anymore on the website. These are they don't even have like a, oh, they are Color Icon. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon Eyeshadow Trios. I have one in Walking on Eggshells and one in Sweet as Candy. So these are the two products I used a while back when I was testing out that foundation stick. I just did a lot of Wet n Wild products on my face and I used these on my eyes. So yeah, these are the only two ones that I had, but I picked up so many more. So first of all, Wet n Wild is probably one of the best brands at the drugstore for quality, but also for being the most inexpensive. So one, these products most of them are less than $5, if not $10. But when I went to Walgreens, they were 50% off. So I got them for half off of that, which is wild. Wet n Wild. I didn't even mean to do that. That just happened. I picked up the Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palette in the shade New Awakening. It is more of a cool toned, more neutral palette. It kind of reminds me of, okay, first of all, the Anastasia Sultry palette. I want to say that's what the name of it is. These colors remind me of the colors that would be in that palette. This is a beautiful palette. I haven't used it on the eyes. I did swatch it as soon as I got it in the car. I just wanted to see what it was going to be like. And then I picked up some of the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit eyeshadows. So I picked up two matte ones and a shimmer one. The first matte one that I picked up is in the shade Camelback, which kind of looks like a concealer shade. I'm going to be using this today as primer for my lids because I've heard this is a really good primer for the lids. I also picked up one a little bit darker in the shade Sand Castles to use maybe as a transition shade. I don't know. We're going to be trying it out. It might even be like a good contour shade. And then I'm so excited for this shade. I picked up the Liquid Catsuit Shimmer Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Cashmere Love. It's like a beautiful taupey shade. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. You'll be able to see it in the swatch, but I'm so excited for these products. I cannot wait to put these on my eyes. But like I said, I forgot that I haven't done my brows yet, so let's do the brows first. I'm going to be doing one of my eyebrows with the Ultimate Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown, which just looks like a normal thin brow pencil, very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz, you know. Looks pretty similar to those. And then I'm going to be doing my other eyebrow with the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil. So this one looks more like a brow definer type product. It's much thicker than the smaller one. And I think this is in the shade soft brown as well. This is an ash brown. So these colors might look a little bit different, but the colors differed in the product. So I will say this ash brown one and the brow pencil looked really, really good. But then when I went to pick up the brow pencil one, it was a weird color, like super duper weird. So these might differ a little bit in color. Actually, they look about the exact same color, which is really weird. I think the soft brown one is a little bit more warm, but you know, it doesn't really matter. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna do each brow. I'm gonna do one brow with one and one brow with the other, and then tell you guys which one I prefer. So like I said, we're gonna use the thicker pencil on this eye. This is my good brow. I love this brow. Like honestly, I would be fine with just brushing this one up and going out the door, but this one, look at her. She needs so much help. I'm gonna do the thicker pencil first, which is the brow pencil in ash brown. I don't use these normally, so I'm kind of scared about, I don't know how to use these. So let me just go ahead and start penciling it in. Okay, so this is this brow done. Without this one being done, this one looks so dark, but I actually like how it applied. It was a lot quicker than I thought it would be, probably because it covers more surface area. I don't know how I feel about it yet. The formula seemed okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let my thoughts, let me just think on this one while I do this other brow with the micro brow pencil. Okay, all right, so what I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna go in and clean up the bottom of my brows with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Fair Beige, which I believe is the lightest shade. I've heard great things about this concealer, so I'm really excited to play around with it once we get to the under eyes, but for now I'm just gonna clean up underneath my eyebrows with this product. I think I actually prefer the micro brow pencil because I could really feather out where I needed to in these more sparse areas. But if you guys have more fuller brows and you're wanting something that's just going to be quick and do the job really quickly, then you might like the brow pencil, just the retractable brow pencil. Honestly, I really like both of these and I'm going to continue to use both of them. I'm actually really excited that I found two new brow products that I enjoy. So I did not pick up a brow gel from them. I didn't see any. I know they have one. I know they have at least a clear one, but I wasn't able to find it anywhere that I went. So I don't know if they're discontinuing it or if it's just out of stock. So I am just going to use my normal brow gel, which is the Mary Kay brow gel, my holy grail brow gel. It reminds me exactly of the Anastasia clear brow gel. Holds amazingly throughout the day. So I'm just going to feather up my brow hairs just like that. And then we're going to go on to the eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm going to keep you guys zoomed in because we are going to be going into the eyeshadow. So what I am going to do is I'm going to first go in with the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Cream Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Camelback and just apply that to my eyes for the primer. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. It is a little dark, not that bad. It's still going to do the job. I'm not worried about it. That canceled out all of my redness and my veininess. So I don't really have much redness on my eyes. I just mean more of my veininess, more of my pigmentation. So that's really good. I'm then gonna dip into the Nude Awakening palette and take that bone colored shade. I don't know if they have shade names. They don't. So I'm just gonna go into this shade right here and set my lids with that shade. So I like that they have some transition shades up here. This one's definitely not a transition shade for me, but none of these are really transition shades. So that's kind of not great. I have only this one basically to use for the transition. So I'm gonna use this one right up here. I'm definitely having to build up this shade quite a bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna be taking this shade right here and I'm going to be putting this in my crease, but I'm also going to be putting this on the outer corner, mostly on the outer corner, and maybe bringing in some of the excess into my crease, so just define it a little bit more since we don't have very many transition shades going on. So hopefully the shade is not patchy and it works really great. So it's not patchy per se, but it is a little like less pigmented, so you do have to build it up quite a bit. But if you do that, it turns out pretty good because my eyes are looking pretty good. And I just brought a little bit of the excess into the crease. That looks really beautiful. I am going to take my first shade, which is that transition shade at the top, and just kind of blend out the edges and bring it out a little bit further. Okay, so the eyes are looking similar. Now I'm going to be going in with the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Shimmer Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Cashmere Love. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to do semi-cut crease with this on the inner portion of my eye. Okay, so I'm going to try this first with the actual applicator, and then if I need to go in with a brush, I will. And before this dries down, I'm going to blend out this edge. So these do seem to be pretty sheer. So I'm gonna have to definitely go in with a couple layers of this on my eye, but I love the color. It's just gonna need a little bit of building up. If I can't seem to build it up, then we will just go in with the metallic from the palette. I'm not worried about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this dry first because I can still feel that it's very wet. And I'm gonna do this eye off of camera, hopefully get them to look similar, and then we will go back in and do an extra layer on each eye. I think I'm gonna top it with a metallic from the palette. This just seems kind of patchy in some areas, but also just kind of chunky, like it's gonna crumple off at any moment. So that's not my favorite look. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna put this on my lid just with my finger. It doesn't look super metallic, so we're gonna see if this can at least cover a little bit of this eyeshadow. It's not really doing much, people. Not really doing much. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out these harsh edges and kind of bring in that burgundy shade a little bit on the top of that cream shadow and that metallic, just to kind of define that cut crease a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that, the cream eyeshadow. It's not my favorite, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take a mixture of the burgundy and the black and just kind of run that along my outer V lash line just a little bit to define it just a little bit more. So let's go into lashes. For lashes, I picked up the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara in Very Black. So I am going to be putting on falsies, but I am going to go ahead and put a coat or two of this mascara on my lashes. It's got the little plastic wand, which is usually good for separating lashes, but doesn't really usually give me lots of volume. So, oh yeah, I'm glad I brought some lashes out, because this ain't doing nothing. Okay, so this is 2 coats of this mascara, and honestly, they are not looking great. So I'm gonna pop on my lashes. I'm just popping on some Demi Wispies from Ardell, and I'm gonna do that. Zoom you guys back out so we can get on to the face. I'm gonna be going in today for foundation with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation in the shade Shell Ivory, which is, I believe, the second to lightest shade. I'm gonna go in with my E6 brush, which is from Morphe, and I'm gonna start with my forehead today, which I don't normally do, but that pimple is bothering me so bad. So I'm just gonna do this, shoot up a prayer that I don't mess up my eyebrows when I'm blending this out. This one is more of a natural finish, but if you're wanting more coverage, definitely stipple rather than like stroke it, just because that gives a little bit of a better coverage. I meant to talk about the other foundation that I have from Wet n Wild, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Porcelain. I used to love this foundation, and I tried it again the other day for some reason, and it was so dry on me. I'm gonna have to keep trying it out, but I didn't want to wear it today for this video to potentially mess up the look, because I just love the way this stick foundation looks. So I'm gonna have to keep playing around with that other one, because I remember it being good, but I didn't particularly like it the other day when I tried it. So I'm going in now with the Wet n Wild concealer, and I'm just gonna go over some of my blemishes with that concealer and hope that it covers. I'm not going to do my under eyes quite yet, because we do have a couple cream products that I want to use and try out. I'm kind of nervous, but we're going to try them out anyway. I have a cream contour from them. It's called the Mega Glow Makeup Stick in Contour, and the shade is Oaks on You. So I don't know if I want to use this directly on my face or if I want to take it on the back of my hand and do it that way. It's very warm. Oh, she's warm and spreads very far. So let me go ahead and maybe blending this out with a sponge is the best way to go. It actually looks really nice though. It's very warm. It's very warm. I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick in, it's a cream blush, and I'm using the shade Floral Majority, and it's just a beautiful rosy blush, and I'm going to be taking this on my cheeks, obviously. And I think I'm going to use the flat side and hope that that works. Ooh, I like that. It's pretty. I'm going to go up right here and clean up with my foundation stick and just kind of clean that up because it is dragging down a little far. So I am going to go in with the concealer now underneath my eyes. It's probably going to go over the blush a little bit, but this is just how I do my concealer. Wow, I actually really like this concealer. It doesn't have like super full coverage, but it really brightens the under eyes. I have one more cream product, which is the Mega Glow Hello Halo Liquid Highlighter in Halo Goodbye. And this is what the bottle looks like. It's a little glass bottle and it's more of a pinky icy highlight, and I'm so excited to try this out. I'm just gonna do a few dots like that on my skin and then go in and blend it out with my sponge. Roxette Arisa tried these out on her Wet n Wild full face and it looked so beautiful. It was a different shade, but she loved this. I'm gonna try this and blend this out with my fingers. I'm scared about it picking up the product, but it didn't pick up the product in her video, so I'm assuming that it'll be fine in mine too. That's really pretty. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to set my face and everything. I do not have the loose powder from them. I was looking for it everywhere, but that's another product I just could not find in any of the stores. I know it's new, so it's just probably out of stock. A lot of people are liking it, which is awesome, but I do have a couple powders to choose from. So I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in the shade Dulce de Leche, and I could use this shade. It is a little dark for me. I don't know if it's showing on camera. It's a little yellow-y. I think they've changed this. It used to be whiter than it is now, but I also have what I think I'm gonna use, the Wet n Wild Photo Focused Pressed Powder in the shade Warm Light, which looks like this. It does kind of look like it's gonna be a little dark, but we're gonna try it anyway. If it deepens up my foundation a little bit, that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure my eyes are not creased, and I'm gonna go in on my under eyes and set those. It actually didn't darken my under eyes, which is crazy because it looks like it's gonna be a little dark, but it actually didn't, and I'm actually really excited that it didn't. So I'm gonna set the rest of my face with this same powder. I'm really excited to try it all over my face. Okay, so one thing to note about this powder is that I'm noticing that it doesn't really matte the skin at all. It still feels kind of tacky, which I'm not a big fan of, especially because I'm oily skin. So I'm just going over it again to make sure that it sets down because I don't really like when it doesn't set. So I thought I initially liked the powder, but I don't know if I'm going to keep using it because it doesn't dry down. It doesn't set my foundation down and keep it matte. So that's something to note. So what I am gonna do, oh yeah, see my under eyes are still tacky. So I'm going back in with a second layer of that. It's still not fully set, which is very weird. I don't get it. I'm gonna zoom you guys back in really quickly so we can finish up the under eyes. It's gonna be super simple, but I just wanna go ahead and get that done before we move on to the rest of the face. So I'm first gonna be going in with our transition shade right here, and I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. And then we're going to be going in just with the burgundy shade right here. And then I'm just going back in with the first brush with no product. Just blending everything out. And lastly, just going in with that bone colored shade we set our lids down with, and I'm going to place that on my brow bone. The brow bone highlight makes all the difference, I'm telling you what. Okay, and then we are going to be going in with the inner corner just a little bit later when we do the highlights, so I'm going to zoom you guys back out for the rest of the face. Okay, so now we're going to be going in with bronzer. I have a few options for bronzer. I have that Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dulce de Leche. I have this one. I don't prefer it because it is pretty dark. Not dark, orange, pretty orange. So I wanted to pick up some of their new bronzers. I initially didn't know which one I wanted to use, and I picked this one up and realized when I got home how orange it is. Even more warm than this one. So I don't know if I'm going to be using this today. It's just very warm. It's orange basically. Let me show you, which I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. you can't really tell. Okay, and then I have the shade Sunset Striptease, which looks like this. This is definitely the shade I'm going to be going into today. Let's use my Wet n Wild stippling brush. Ooh, that's pretty. It's very warm, again, although it doesn't really look like it's that warm. Looks more cool toned for sure. All right, let me be a little extra careful around this pimple guy. Okay, it's a little dark, it's a little warm, but we're gonna work with it. We are gonna work with it. Okay, so I don't have any new blushes from Wet n Wild. I have my normal Rose Champagne blush, which has been through it. So I thought this was discontinued, but I actually saw it on the website. It's still there. It's out of stock at the moment, but it is still there. And then I also have the Color Icon Baked Blush from their limited edition collection. I don't think I'm going to use this one today because I believe it is discontinued, but I used it before in a look and I love it. It's so beautiful, very, very shimmery, but it's very, very good. So I'm just going to go in with my, literally look at this, my Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Rose Champagne. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild blush brush that I have. Stick this on the cheeks. This one has a sheen as well, but not nearly as intense as that other one. So I have quite a few highlights from Wet n Wild. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the limited edition ones because I believe, I don't know if you can get these anymore, but I still have them and wanted to show you guys them if they are still in stock. I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Platinum Bar in the shade Winter Bloom. And then I also have that same Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar in the shade Holly Goldhead, which looks like this. So I'm not going to be using either one of these, but I wanted to show you guys anyway. This is another one that is limited edition, but is currently limited edition, so it's currently out. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Crystal High, which is more of a putty type highlighter. It's more, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like this. And it's like you can press down on it and it kind of, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be using this one on the skin today though. I think I know what I want to use. I also have the Wet n Wild Loose Highlighter and I'm So Lit. You see me use this many times on my channel. The most stunning highlight. I love it so much. And then I also have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow, which is what I think I'm going to go in with today. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite highlighters. So beautiful and just looks so stunning on the skin. So I'm going to be going in with that on my cheekbones. And I'm also just going to pop this in the inner corners with my pinky, which is so stunning. Okay, now on to the final thing before setting spray, and that is lips. I have so many lip products from them and I'm so excited to kind of show you guys all what we've got. So I have some just bullet lipsticks from them and I have the Wet n Wild Perfect Pout Lip Color in the shade Bare Your Soul. I have the Wet n Wild lipstick in Mink Brown. I also have the Wet n Wild lipstick in Never Nude. And then I also have it in another color which I cannot find where it is. I think it's probably in my purse. And then I have a couple liquid lips from them. The Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick in the shade Missy and Fierce, which is my favorite red liquid lipstick. And then I also have the Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose, which I think is what I'm going to use today, but I'm not sure yet. I might top it with a gloss. And then I also have the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipsticks in the shade Send Nudes and also in the shade Caught You Bare Naked. So lots of lip products from them. I know I actually have a couple more, but I'm not sure where they are. So what I am going to do is I think I'm going to go in first with the Rebel Rose Liquid Catsuit liquid lipstick and put this on and then maybe top it off with a gloss. And then I'm going to hide my terrible lip application with the Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick in the shade Send Nudes. Okay, and the final thing to do is setting spray, and I picked up the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Finishing Setting Spray, and I'm just going to spray this all over my face. You guys almost let me forget bottom mascara. I was wondering if it looked weird. That was it. Okay guys, so that is it for this full face of Wet n Wild tutorial. I hope you guys like this full face of Wet n Wild makeup. I am going to run through really quickly with the things that I liked, what I don't like, that type of stuff. So I'm still working on the matte primer. The foundation, absolutely love. The concealer, love. I am going to have to pass on the pressed powder just because I don't think it will work for me with my oily skin. So if you guys have dry skin and you guys are not looking for something that's going to make your skin matte, you might like this. I think that I like both of the contour and the blush sticks. This will just have to be for more when I'm a little bit tanner, just because it is a little orange, pulls a little orange on me right now with my fair skin. I did like the blush, and I also liked the Wet n Wild, the liquid highlighter. I think if you're gonna pick up one of the bronzers, it should be Sunset Striptease. If you're around my skin tone, the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes are honestly an OG. They're so good. The highlighters are all very, very good. I like all of them a lot. Brow products, yes, love them both. Eyeshadow, I think this is a really good palette for the price. I think you should grab this and not this. I don't think it was the greatest, but I do like the matte versions of this. I didn't get to try this one out, but I really like the formula of this one. What else am I forgetting? Oh, all of the lip products. I've tried all of these out. They're all OGs for me. I use them all the time, and I love all of them. Oh, also, I really enjoy their brushes as well. So if you're looking for cheap brushes, their brushes are really great. You can pick them up basically anywhere they sell Wet n Wild. So inexpensive, and they are honestly really great quality for the price. I think that is all of the Wet n Wild products that I talked about today and showed you guys today. So if you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you like this video and all of my content, then just go ahead and please hit the subscribe button down below. And once you have subscribed, please make sure to turn on the little bell notification so you're notified every time that I upload, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.